Hi everyone, it's Dr. Christina here, and today I am joined with Ilana. Hi Ilana, how are you?
Hello, good, how are you?
And Ilana has been with us, working with us for 8 or 9 months, something like that, doing our lifestyle changes and our metabolic reset. And today we're just going to ask some questions about your journey. I want you to share your journey with everyone. So first I want to just ask you, what was your life before you came to work with us at the clinic? Like what, give me a typical day. Now you're a mom, maybe give people the background, like you're a mom of a small child.
So I'm mom of a 4-year-old, and the life before was, I was either a garbage container for my kids' uneaten food, plus all my food, and I obviously, I work full time, and I'm stressed like everybody else, so food was there to either bring joy or to kill insane hunger. So I would eat once a day, but I would eat everything in sight. Or I would be happy, sad, stressed, and I would just eat a lot of food that's truly not healthy. And that started to reflect on my child. And that's how I decided to do something. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I decided to make a change.
And have you tried other things before? Tried to eat healthier? Did you notice anything before?
So I tried other diets before. I tried even the keto diet that everybody did, and I realized it just wasn't for me. I felt like food still controlled me when I was on keto diet, so it didn't work out for me. And I always thought that diet meant not eating. And that was also a challenge. So I tried keto. I tried going to a few doctors and or eating or not eating or eating at a certain time, and it never worked out because it never changed my life. Never put me on a permanent life-changing path.
And so tell me, how was your mood and your energy level before as well? Because these are really important pieces. These are the things that impact how you behave as a partner and a mom, which are so near and dear to my heart.
I was so whenever I would start the diet, it would be, yay, this is great. I think I was just pumped up, and I was full of sort of, this magical energy. I'm gonna be skinny in 3 weeks, and and when I realized that certain diets were lacking in, for example, I wasn't allowed to eat fruit. That didn't help because I always felt very tired. Or on certain diets we weren't allowed to eat just certain food, certain food groups, and I always felt like, yeah, but I'm missing my apple, and I guess I'm not getting any sugar. I feel tired, or I was eating like eggs, for example, and I realized that later in life that it's actually so inflammatory for me. It didn't make me feel good, and didn't give me the energy that I thought I was going to have when I started the diet. So it would start great, and it would just fizzle out really, really fast, and I would just give up.
Yeah. And so when you heard about us through a friend of yours and a participant and a patient of mine I've had for a long time, you and your husband got on the phone with me, correct? There's a lot of negotiating.
A lot. We got on the phone, I think, with you twice, because we couldn't believe what we saw. We couldn't believe what we were allowed to eat food and the big variety of food. And I guess we had a hard time with it's a lifestyle concept and not a diet, because it's truly not a diet. I mean, it's great that we lost weight, and that was our original goal. We wanted to be on the diet, and then it ended up being a lifestyle change. And up to this day, we might have our good days and bad days, but our core, our basis is to eat how you taught us to eat.
Yeah, healthy.
Healthy.
And so what did you start to notice quickly, through that first 3 or 4 weeks? You've done a couple of rounds. We've been together for some time now. How has it changed, maybe your family, your interaction with your husband or with your child, or your child's eating behavior?
So the first thing that we noticed, both of us, myself specifically, is that I wasn't bloated. I actually could could put my engagement and wedding band on without feeling restricted in the morning before I ate anything, like before I even had a cup of coffee. I felt like, wow, I feel so light, and so it's nice to get up without any aches in my feet and actually walk around the house. And for my child, I also noticed over time that she made healthy choices. She started asking for carrots and not French fries because that wasn't available anymore. Because our kid eats what we eat. And it's funny because our kid didn't lose weight, but people started saying, "Oh, I think your kid lost weight." I'm like, no, she's just not bloated. She's not bloated. She's not. She's drinking water instead of drinking maybe milk and juice. And she is asking for cucumbers. She started, like, we go through maybe like 4 or 5 cucumbers a week because our daughter actually enjoys cucumbers because we started giving her, introducing her to a variety of vegetables. And cucumbers happen to be it. So we noticed ourselves that we just felt lighter. And even though the scale might have not shown a drastic weight loss, we felt already like we were winning and that we already lost weight, even though it was just probably all the bloating that wasn't in us.
Yeah, and so you and I have had a lot of conversations over, and one of the things that I'm so happy with is that you came away with it like this is because through the course of working together, my goal is to really not give someone 6 weeks of some restricted, non-restricted, whatever eating plan. It's really to teach people that their microbiome needs to be fed with more vegetables and diversity, and that going to sleep is important for healing and blood sugar regulation, and that movement that's healthy, restorative movement is healthy. And so what have you found that you're telling people when they're like, okay, what are you doing? Are you still doing this diet, this protocol? Like, are people asking?
People say, are you still on your diet? And I say, guys, it's really not a diet. I don't think I know anybody in my life who will be on a diet for that long. I say, guys, I still eat, 2 to 3 times a day. I still, now I don't measure my food. I know exactly, like I can gauge, but I still eat the same idea of the food. And I try new foods, and if I'm bloated the next day, I know exactly that doesn't work for me. So like I actually, like when people say, are you still on your diet? I'm like, no, I'm living. And that's how I'm living. But I do get asked that quite often because people still, like a lot of people still see it as my diet because I happen to lose weight on this journey, which is great. That was my goal to begin with, is to look slimmer.
Well, and also, I mean, some of the things you've told me is that you actually have more energy and you don't feel so tired. And, I think that all of it together is when we have more inflammation in our body, it puts us at risk of having low energy, disrupted sleep, our immune system's a little more suppressed when we have more inflammation. So it was such a great time to do it too, because it's such an important time for you. You guys are a young family, and just doing it together. And that's the one thing I will always stress to people, like, if you can do it with your family member, your partner, your person that you live with, it's always much easier because then you support each other.
You know what? And it's true because being on this journey, in a way, brought us closer as a family. We started eating together at a table as a family, and not by, one of us is on the computer eating, and God knows how much food you can consume by not thinking about what you're eating. Somebody else was watching a TV show and also eating, and then again, when you're not thinking about what you're eating and you're not concentrating on your food, we used to consume way more food because we weren't thinking about it. And when I think, I would feel so stuffed, that would be my trigger that, oh, wait a minute, I ate too much because I wasn't thinking about what was on my plate. I was just mindlessly eating and staring at my computer. So it brought us together closer as a family. We started eating, lunches together and dinners together and actually hanging out together, even though like we were trapped in the same house for a while now and not really going out, but it was really nice to bond with all of us. It's I gotta say, it's truly family time. because what we eat and how we eat also reflects on like how we interact with each other. Like we actually talk to each other when we eat right now, lunch and dinner, and it's nice.
Yeah, well, and again, that's that we are all busy, right? I mean, everyone's busy. You can't be a working parent or a single person for that matter and not feel busy. So, and I mean, I always say, like, what are we working for if we're not working to be having, the best things that we can to share with our family members, to take the time. So, learning those lifestyle habits, I think, keeps people successful long-term at changing the trajectory of their health, changing the trajectory of their child's health in a more positive road, and giving your child the tools. I mean, when they model it in a way that they see you do it and they see that is the right way, because they do learn from us, right? And so it's been, what is the thing that surprised you the most in the last 6 or 7 months on this journey?
I think the big surprise was that we are maintaining this lifestyle, that we're actually, like, it's a surprise because every time we did a 4-week challenge or a 6-week program, or we would buy some powder package or whatever that we would do for a short period of time, we wouldn't even think about it after. We would go back to our old ways. So the surprise, what I'm truly surprised in every day, I say to myself, oh my God, I'm actually doing this, and it's in my head, it's in me, is that I maintain that lifestyle, that I don't think about the choice that I'm making. It's healthy choices, but I don't have to think about it. It's not work for me. And it's nice. It's really nice. I know people say, like, what do you mean, like, that's a shock to you? I'm like, to me it's a shock because I always thought about, I'm going to eat this junk and then this junk and then drink this junk. Now I don't think about what I'm eating, but it just comes naturally, eating good stuff, good healthy stuff. To me, that's surprising. And it's funny because my husband made a comment. He's like, you're snacking on cucumbers? You sure? I said, no, I'm sure. I'm snacking on cucumbers. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, when you start to, I do find that when you look at those people who are those healthy people that make good choices and you think they were always there, a lot of us started in a place where we weren't making as healthy choices because we weren't as educated. And when you start to reap the rewards, not just the weight loss or the better sleep or the hormonal balance, which those are all incredible benefits, but seeing how you actually want to make that shift to being healthier, and you want to put yourself in that place and be like, oh, actually, we are that healthy family. We are that family that understands that food is nourishment and our brains are going to work better. We're going to be around longer to play with our child and our grandkids. I mean, those are my goals, really. So it's so nice to hear you say that, because diets don't work. Lifestyle changes, being healthier, taking steps every day, even if they're small steps. Some of us take a lot longer to get there. But I do find you guys must have been at the right time, in the right place to do it, because
I think sorry to interrupt. We truly reached the point where we just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't eat another, and it's probably gonna sound so cliche, like I couldn't eat another burger anymore and fries. I just, like, I can't do this. My hands feel like sausages. My brain feels like just in a terrible fog. I'm stressed as it is because we're all at home. We can't go out. We just said to ourselves, we can't do this anymore. And we talked to our friend who went through this journey, and he suggested to call you, just to call and talk to you. And then I think we talked to you, we interviewed you for literally a full-time job. And guess what? Here we are, and we feel so much better. We don't think about, like, when I eat food, I think about, I don't know, like, I'm enjoying the food. I'm not thinking about, oh my God, I'm hungry, so I'm just gonna consume this, whatever this is in front of my plate. Now we have so much colorful food on our plate. It's actually fun to, like, especially with our kid, it's fun to talk about it.
Of course. And those are those long-term tenets of, longevity and healthy life. So I'm so pleased. So let me ask you one more question. If, you had a friend who was kind of on the fence and like, oh, I'm not sure, or anybody who just wanted to take a step into being healthier, what would you say to them?
I would say that out of all things that they could try, this would be perfect, because this is not a diet. There's nothing else to say. It's not a diet. It's you're living and you're making a healthier choice. Because there's plenty of food that we can eat. There's plenty of food that we can experiment with and see what works for us, what doesn't. But that out of all things that they could try, they should give this a chance, because, well, first of all, I'm right here in front of them, a good example, and also that it's truly it's a life choice. It's not, they're not signing up in their head. People sign up for the diet. That it's not that, and there's no other way to describe it. That it's truly not a diet. It's a very, very good lifestyle that's very possible to maintain, and I'm maintaining it up to date.
Yeah,
I guess that's what I would tell the people, like, try it. Just do this, and you'll see that it will change you, because you're allowed to eat food, you're allowed to drink, you're allowed to move, so you can't go wrong with that.
I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story. I know that you're a busy parent working a lot of hours, and you sharing your story can help other people maybe find the courage to, start doing some self-care. It really is self-care when it comes down to it. It's really about putting yourself first and knowing that if you want to have a long, healthy life, not just live long, but really feel good, taking that first step is the hard part. But then from there, there's so much limitless possibilities to how you can heal. And I'm, looking forward to seeing what's up for you guys next and how you manage this next year. And thank you for letting me be part of your journey, because it's been great to witness. And thank you.
Thank you for teaching us that there's other ways, and there's so amazing ways, and we're very, very happy that we did this. We genuinely are.
Okay, wonderful. All right, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.